Okay, so I'm probably not as smart as the system is, but we'll get down to that in a minute. Can you guys at the back hear me? How many of us here in this room travel, say, once a week? Anyone? Once a week? Come on, guys. I know it's the last session before we start our meeting, so let's get some life in the room. Once a week? Once a month? Once a year? How many feel like they travel from one side of Jakarta to the other and still think it's like an overseas journey? Yeah? All right. There are a lot of us who travel a lot these days, more so than we used to previously. A lot of us believe or believed that with technology we wouldn't have to travel, but we still do. Right? Travel more than once a month, stay in different hotels in different cities, stay for an average of more than one night sometimes, right? Depending on which city you're in. Some of us want to get out of some cities, but most at least stay a night. How many people watch TV in the room? When you stay in a hotel, how many people watch TV in a room? Sometimes the TV is on and you're not even looking at it, right? You just switch it on because you want some presence in the room, right? Otherwise the room it feels like it's caving into you. Right? And after you finished a long day's work, how many of you just get into the room, want to put your feet up and say, let the TV show what it wants, I'm going to look at my screen, right? But I don't want to see another human being or talk to another human being. Ever felt that? Anyone felt that? Yeah? You, my dear sir, are my friend, right? You agree with everything I say, right? So, how many of us have slept in a new hotel room and felt uncomfortable? Anybody? Anybody has this problem? I have this problem. If I stay in a new hotel room, I can't sleep in the first night, right? Which invariably means that I wake up really groggy. That's why I asked these guys to put me on the first day, not the second day. Okay. Have you ever slept in the hotel room with all the lights on? Yeah? Have you ever managed to have that one light that goes straight to your eye? Whichever angle you sleep in, you still get it, right? How many of you have gone to the bed and realized either you've forgotten to charge your phone or put on the alarm, or even worse, right? You're just about comfortable in bed and you realize you've left that one light on. Then what do? You hit the master switch. If you can find it, right? Once you've hit the master switch, what happens? Everything goes so dark and now you're trying to figure out which and where the next light switch is. Yes? How many times did you press this light switch to find exactly which switch it is? Air conditioning too cold or not too cold? Never get the right temperature. How many times have you struggled with the thermostat? Anyone ever struggled with the thermostat in a hotel room? Man, you guys must be some seriously super intelligent human beings. Because I seem to have a lot of these problems, right? And the final set of questions. Ever happened to you? You're on a call and the bell rings, right? You're on a VC or a Zoom call or a Skype call, right? 90% of the times you don't want the other person to know you're sitting in your hotel room, right? And that's when the doorbell rings, right? Has this ever happened to you? You get in really early in the morning, You think you have 4 hours before your first meeting, you put the D&D on and go to sleep, right? Next thing you know, thank God it says 15, I thought it was 5, you scared me. Next thing you know, the doors open and somebody is saying, sorry, 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 right? Either you guys stay in really good hotels or somebody's not telling. You come back unexpectedly from one of your meetings and the room is really not done up yet. You called up guest services, you've explained to them what you want. As soon as you put the phone down, you're really wondering whether you've been able to tell them what you want, right? This happens to me a lot because a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. Pretty much like what's happening in this room right now, right? Or you spent some time trying to figure out which TV channel to watch, but don't remember what TV channel it was. Now, the point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is all these are fairly common issues when you stay in hotels, right? I will run through these very, very quickly. Because obviously a lot of these points only happen to me. If you have said yes to at least 5 of these out of the 20 that I've put up, right? There's only one answer for you, right? Because what do we do? And what is Digivalet, right? The technical definition is we are an integrated in-room experience enhancement and control mechanism, whatever it is. I can't even remember it, right? Simply put, between you and me, we take room automation, we take in-room entertainment, we take guest services, we put all of them on an iPad and you can control it out of there. How easy is that? Is that easy? Can we have the lights on, please? I can't see who all are sleeping. No, I'm just kidding. Let them sleep. It's been a good lunch. Some of the questions we get asked all the time is, do you integrate with POS, which is point of sale? Yes, we do. Do you integrate? These guys are serious. I love them. Do you integrate with your property management system? Yes, we do. The only thing we don't control, or we haven't yet managed to control, is the flow of water in your shower, right? And that's primarily because so far we haven't found a waterproof iPad, right? I think they're working on it as we speak. Phone 10, I think, is now waterproof, right? Maybe that's the next way. But we're extremely easy to use. How many people have or still have a non-swipe technology phone? Anybody? Or a non-swipe technology device? Nobody? Oh, come on, guys. Tell me later if somebody has it. All of us use swipe technology for, it feels like as long as we've been alive now, right? We've forgotten what it means to press buttons anymore. And that's why it's a really easy technology to use. Some of the key facts we claim, and we have been told by fairly reliable sources, that we're the world's first full-featured iPad-based guest room solution. We do have the largest market share in luxury brands. That does not mean that we don't cater to non-luxury brands. But like everything else, it's a question of scale. We're probably the most feature-rich platform. We have close to now 60 features that we can put onto the iPad. We're probably the most reviewed feature in terms of guest room amenity or solution or feature as per TripAdvisor. Who are some of our key clients? That's the Armani. Yes. That's the Armani at the Burj Khalifa. That's the Corinthia Hotel in London. That's the torch in Doha. This is the Admiralty Arch, which is now recently been branded as Conrad, I think. No, sorry, Waldorf. And we've just finished the mock-up room there, right? In Asia, that's the So-So Hotel. We have the Andaz in Shanghai. We are a brand standard for the Oberoi hotels out of India. We're also in the St. Regis in Maldives. And we've just completed the mock-up room for the Raffles renovation in Singapore. So what do? We provide solutions for guest room controls, so lights, air conditioning, drapes, curtains, locks, whatever else that there is. We take guest in-room entertainment and we provide a solution for that. Guest services, like I said before, we integrate with pretty much any system as long as the system allows us to integrate. And we customize solutions with a focus on guest experience. Why do guests love Digivalet? Absolutely easy to use. The user interface is pretty intuitive. It can tell you what temperature you liked the last time, what wine you drank. Some people have an issue with that because they don't necessarily travel with the same companion every time. But that can be resolved as well, right? But it tells you what movie you were watching the last time and had to leave halfway. One of our guests even said that their 83-year-old mother absolutely loved it. So age is no barrier. The response time from the iPad to the action is almost zero. It's a couple of milliseconds. And the most important thing is it actually works, right? Some of the facts. 70% of guests in all our installations use Digivalet every day or every night. It's the highest usage for any new feature in the industry. It's pretty consistent across all demographics and all geographies. Why do hotels love it? Pretty simple. It's a professional setup. We're not fly-by-night operators. We continuously upgrade our software and the system. Guest satisfaction index goes up, high number of returning guests, and it is a proven ROI mechanism. Now, everybody's been talking about ROI, so let's talk about ROI, right? Every time we talk about cost, there has to be ROI. Where does the ROI come from? When you do, anyone knows what a room control unit is? Or a guest room management system is? Anyone from the electrical space? My friends from Philips are here. Where are they? Anyone from Philips in the room? No, they're all at the booth? Okay. This is what controls centrally all your lighting and your thermostat and your curtains and whatever else, right? Everything goes into a central room unit. You don't need it networked, so you save costs there. You don't need to buy a building management system, so you save costs there, right? You can actually customize promotions for each room based on what was consumed, what was watched, what facility the guest is using. That increases your revenues, and that obviously increases your yield per guest. You can provide free movies on demand for 20 cents per night per room, right? A lot of people think movies on demand is a money-making instrument, but trust me, and you'll see the statistics later, right? It's interesting how many people come back to hotels because you can give, or because you get free movies on demand. So let's talk about some statistics. 24% guests watch a movie every day, right? 18% chose to go back to the hotel that gave free movies on demand versus others that didn't. You can have your own Netflix wherever it's allowed and YouTube. 41% of the guests use the iPad to place in-room dining orders. It's interesting, when we went to Armani Milan, everyone said, Milan, what's the point? Nobody's going to use room service in Milan. After we installed Digivalet in Armani Milan, 25% of the guests started using in-room dining because it was just so convenient. 28% additional items were ordered, otherwise it was just those standard items. 200% incremental guest feedback. To me, that's invaluable, right? If you can get your guests to communicate with you and share their feedback, I think that's phenomenal. So my friends from IHG and other hotel operating companies, this is for you. The other two are even more interesting. 35% of the guests actually gave their consent to be called back because they were unhappy with something. And once the hotel called them back, 45% of them went back happier than they were earlier. To me, that's pretty good statistics. So why Digivalet? The guests absolutely love it. It improves efficiency. It's probably the most feature-rich platform. Continuous upgrades, proven track record, constantly evolving technology, and most importantly, my friends, technology is no longer just cool to have. I think it's critical, right? With that, thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm at table 10, and I'm here till tomorrow.